Yes, this is Hudson Judge. Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. I'm just doing my little thing as usual. Today my topic is a little bit broad. It's kind of based on how Caribbean people think, how they reasoning, and how they petty and they lack knowledge on history. And if our people don't know history, there are certain topics they cannot discuss. If you want to hold a topic on history, you got to know history. Or if you want to hold a topic related to history, you have to know history. So Caribbean people, I don't know. We argue over everything. One time, we argue like if we are arguing against imperialism. One time we are arguing regionalism, protectionism, nationalism, islandism, and all kind of ism when we're ready. And when we're ready, we're supporting West Indies cricket. We're so divided, it's a shame. Anyway, so I'm just doing a little roundup this week. Now, I want to touch on Carnival and a little bit about the word Juve. Then I'm going to talk about West Indies cricket a little bit too. But I can't leave out Grenada in my mix, in what's going on in Grenada for the week. So anyway, I got to touch on the way we speak too. All right. So first of all, I'm going to start up now. My topic is based around history. Now, I'm following Caribbean cricket. They say Guyana is divided racially, on a racial divides. They say Trinidad is divided on a racial divides. Well, I'm not Trinidadian, I'm not Guyanese, but yes, there is some ethnic divisions in those places. In Grenada, we don't want to talk about ours. There is tongue and country. So we have our own artificial ethnicity. So we're dealing with the vibes now. The vibes now is West Indies cricket. When the West Indies win, we're happy. When they lose, them is the worst team in the world. West Indies cricket do good. And the same West Indian supporters or West Indies cricket supporters who cussing the team when they lose. Because when it's cricket time, we are West Indian. When it's politics, in some Caribbean countries, tongue and countries, some is racial divides. But look at Guyana cricket. Every Guyanese want Hetima to get a play on the West Indies cricket team. Hetima is Afro-Guyanese, boy. But when it's time for cricket, Hetima is not an Afro-Guyanese. He's a Guyanese. So the black Guyanese, the African Guyanese, the East Indian Guyanese, the Portuguese Guyanese, the mixed ones, they all want Hetima to get a play. So they don't care in the other island if he's a Afro Barbadian or Afro whatever, Afro Jamaican or whatever island that the Antigua or it could be Grenada or wherever the cricketer come out in our next island. Whether it's Afro, if he could be white, he could be East Indian, they don't care. they want Hetima to get a play. This is West Indies people. That is how we are in the West Indies. National pride, sub-national pride on the day when West Indies played. We want to have one of women on the team. Now, okay. West Indies win the first one, they lose the second. They lose the second one. They lose the third one, they laugh them. Then they win the fourth one. Well, they're not teasing them again, you know. No. Here the next thing now. A black American man, I think they say his name is Michael Jordan or what. I don't know, some name like that. Want to brand something called Juve rum. You want to brand something. Some Trinidadian vex. I didn't say all, some. They believe Carnival is theirs. So a Trinidadian believe every aspect of Carnival is his or hers. Just like Maasai people. A Maasai just cross the border from Kenya and go in Tanzania, go in Sudan and take cattle. And if they catch them, they say, God give them all cattle in the world is theirs. So when it comes to Carnival, Trinidadian believe every aspect of Carnival is theirs. Now, this is where history is important. The average Trinidadian, I don't know if they are aware that New Orleans and Louisiana are Creole, French Creole place in the United States. They have the Mardi Gras there too. You see, we don't talk and we don't think. Strong French Creole culture like Grenada or St. Lucia or Dominica or Martinique or like Guadeloupe or Haiti. This strong French culture is in the United States, Louisiana and New Orleans. Right? Also, when you listen to them, people talk about Carnival. They will still talk about it from a black perspective. Well, if Carnival is from a black perspective, and a black man wants to have a thing called Juve rum, what's so big about that? Do you know that rum, the European brought sugarcane to the Caribbean to make sugar and rum and molasses for export. The word Juve is a French word meaning open or the break of day, the beginning of something. So Fode Manin is Juve Manin, is the break of day. A French Creole man from Grenada in the late 1800s. His name was Romeo de Saint Laurent, a Grenadian. And he brought some of the Grenadian workers to Trinidad on plantation. And they play Carnival for the first time. So historically, we've been playing Carnival long, even before Trinidad had the first black man. You understand? Slavery in Grenada was since 1620 something, 1630. Trinidad had its first slave plantation close to the year 1800. Imagine, slavery in Grenada was almost close to 200 years before you had one black man in Trinidad. You know. Anyway, let's leave that for our next topic. So, history is important. And whoever want to do a live on history, if you don't know history, don't host history program. History is not a subject you're going to do nowadays to make big money. But if you don't know history, you don't know what you're talking about. For a pastor to preach, you have to know the scriptures. So if you don't know Caribbean history, and you want to host program on history, you making Nana Tete. The same way we in the Caribbean could claim Carnival, the American could do it. New Orleans and New Louisiana, there's Carnival there. And there was other pockets of French places in the United States. You see? And another thing again. Sparrow sing Jean and Dinah, Rosette and Clementina, round the corner posing. Bet your life is something they're selling. And if you catch them broken, you could get them all for nothing. Don't make a wrong. The Yankee gun Sparrow take over. No. Sparrow was saying the American go back after the base close, after the World War. So all the girls is his now. He go run Port of Spain. American influence in Trinidad during the Second World War by influence on Trinidad Carnival. Evolution of time. So when people talk in history, all this nationalism, blind nationalism, we just be showing. We have to know history. The other day I was listening to our other Grenadian live. And the only man who makes sense on the live was a man called Pele Dabo, the Grenadian guy, Pele Dabo. He taught some history. He knew what he was saying, Pele Dabo. He taught some history. So he knows history. Now, I just want to say up for the week. Now, the importance of history is so much in everything. And if you don't know history, like an argument, something come up on Facebook the other day, and the word Creole came into the topic. And one person asking me, what is a Creole? Now that person asking me, what is a Creole? They only asking the question because of for political reason. It didn't take that person long to just, whether they know or they didn't know what is a Creole. Just go in your dictionary. But just because of, you want to make an argument because you doesn't like my politics, you're asking me what is a Creole. A Creole is people who born in the Americas. Whether they're white or the black or the mixed race, Creole are new people. And will Creole come? Creole brought new cultures to the Caribbean. Some of it is a melange. You have African Creoles in the Caribbean. You have mulatto Creole. You have French Creole. You have, in Spanish country, there is a kind of Creole. They're all Creole. This is why I cannot speak English. And I don't want to speak English. I always telling people that I'm speaking Creole English. You see, I don't listen to a lot of people. A lot of people go to school. They pass exam, they did well. They must get all kind of honors and things. A student, but they don't have no sense. They study hard and they bright, they pass. So they could work big job and make big money, but they don't bright. Brightness is educating yourself after being educated. So I have to go back on that. When people calling GBN radio and you have a one or two people disrespecting Creole English, I don't care how much degree they have, how much money they have in pocket, what family background they come out. In Grenada, we say, and the community say, if they were the bourgeoisie, in the older people in Grenada say, if their name is the big shot children, or the big plantocrat children, or the big time professional people children. All of them who troubling ordinary people, the way we speak, they are the ignorant people. Because let me tell you something. If you've been to the best funding school in Grenada 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 100 years ago, for the time you've been in the class to the time you leave, for 3 semesters, you're exposed to British indoctrination of English. Your school get all the tax money. Right? So you fool a grammar. So you grammar fool, F-U-L-L, F-U-L, grammar, F-U-L-L, or F-U-L, how you want to say it. But because you get so grammar fool, you want to show off now on the people who are the privilege as you to speak quote unquote what you think you speak in proper English. And you're calling GBN or no, if you just BNGN trying to make puppy show of Creole speaking people. Or in Creole you say you're trying to make puiser them. That means they're stupid. But it's not, they're not stupid. You are stupid because you don't know history. If you didn't know history, you wouldn't say that. The whole of the Americas is Creole. And I'm damn proud of speaking Creole. You think I want to speak English? Name me good English comedy you ever hear. Why you listen to Sanford and Sons? You listen to Jeffersons. You listen to all the American comedies. This is American Creole you're listening. No, little boy, everybody listen country and western music. Down in the south, Texas people, what kind? Is Creole speaking? But anyway, let me keep to my topic. Now, if you know history, you won't make yourself a grammar fool. When I say grammar fool now, I mean GRAMMARFOOL. You're making yourself a grammar fool when you interfere with people like me who love to speak my Creole. Because if I call you a chunkans, you don't know why it's a chunkans. It's because I have a bigger Grenadian vocabulary than you. You understand? And then the good school you claim you're going in and you want to expatiate on us, the Creole speaking people. You can't do it. Because the English they teach you in the better school you went to in the colonial time, it is invaded by American English. The average American don't say President Clinton. They say President Clinton. President Clinton. They can't say Iraq, you know. Iraq. Iran. What is that? This is American Creole. Anyway, now, the way we speak, the way I speak, all of us in Grenada. So I'm sticking to Grenada now. Now, if you come from all these tribes in Africa, and you're brought to Grenada, and from early 1600 till the end of the Federal Revolution and beyond after, you're talking 100, almost 200 years people speaking French, broken French, patois, which make up of African language, French from France, and African language. Right? So you create a language. There was no grammar school in Grenada at the time. So because you get a grammar school education, and then when the Jews yet come to Grenada, they create a next boys' school in town. And then the British build a girls' school in town. And then the Catholic build a convent in town. Everybody in Grenada are Creole speakers. Everybody in Grenada are Creole speakers. So if you could mess around with a little bit of English and you think you're an Englishman, you're just a fool, you're just a monkey. You're monkeying around. You're monkeying, or you like a parrot. The Creole speaking man is more conscious than you. And then one thing you guys have to understand. Any part of Grenada where the major port was located or is located, that area will have the language of trade. You understand? So the cargo ship come to St. George. So the St. George broken English, is that what the sailors used to hear? Mahan, meeting, UNC Johnny. The St. George is broken English. And before the big storm in 1940 something, when Sutters had the port, when the cargo boat come in Sutters to take agriculture products, they were hearing another Creole. When boat come in Grenville, they hear next Creole. In Guave, they hear next kind of Creole. And Victoria. So people who making themselves trying to put down other people and all them kind of thing, they got to go back into history. Everything is history. Without history, you don't know where you're going and you don't know why you're doing things. Now, for example, it have a thing with us eating Grenada. Up by me is a thing in a party look like a body piece. Or them string beans. A little boy we used to eat the thing, it's sweet, but he have a kind of funky smell. So up in my area in St. Patrick, we call it kakamilat. In other part of Grenada, they call it kakabeke. But the kakabeke and kakamilat is the same word. Because kaka means feces, shit. Milat is a patois word for mulatto. Beke mean red people. So in what part in Grenada they say kakabeke, and we say kakamilat, is the same. It's patois, French patois word. But if you come out in St. George, and you don't know what is kakamilat and kakabeke. So me and you who have a bigger Grenada dictionary. When I say St. George, I mean around the city. But if you're in the other parishes in St. George, you're supposed to know what is kakabeke too, or kakamilat, or how you call it. Anyway, so I just drawing my little things on how we are in Grenada. We make a big thing over nothing. The importance of history. Now, the next thing again. An ex-politician put something on Facebook saying he complimented the government of the day and he criticized the government of the day. Everybody make a comment. I put my little comment too. One guy come from nowhere asking me, what if I think the present government ever do anything good for Grenada? So I said I can answer a question like that. I want to look at the guy profile, the guy is an educated man. So why ask me a question like that? Now tell me in the world, if you don't like a government of a day, or you feel the government of the day doesn't function the way you want, that doesn't give you the reason to say that because you don't like the present government, the government never do nothing for Grenada. I disagree with that. I didn't answer. And I said, only an idiot will ask a question like that. And then you have other people who are intelligent will back up this guy with a stupid question like that. You understand? How can we as a people reason in such an ignorant way when you should know better and you're educated? Now, if you talk to Italian people, they'll tell you Mussolini was a dictator, but he created a little social niche during that period that was very progressive. You know, a little healthcare, a little thing, but he was a dictator. And there was fascism in Italy those days. You talk to Italians, they tell you that. And in the Caribbean, we don't have this kind of thing because you don't like a government. You want to tell me a government that is in Grenada for many, many years never do nothing for Grenada. Say the government is not performing the way you like, and then I will see, well, where you come in, I will say, yes, the government is making a boo-boo here or a boo-boo there, but I can't come with you say the government never do nothing for Grenada. I can't say that. I wasn't born big. I born small. Because in my village, I know a place where it's called Parasneedle. When you leave the police station. In the night when we're going up there, there was a little boy like 13, 14 years, 12 years, there was no street light there. That place used to dark. People used to say they see zombie, they see ghosts, they see skeleton walking and all kind of thing. Right? And even though the village had electricity, but that area was dark. Whether they say they see ghosts, I never see nothing there myself. But as a little boy passing there at night, you frightened. Now, I travel when I go into Grenada. Every time I notice passing to Parasneedle, I see street light, bright like day. Bright. So, how can I say the government never do nothing in Grenada? I just draw that as a little example. If you say you want a change of government, we could debate. If you could talk about how the government develop in the country, I will debate with you. But don't come and tell me the government never do nothing for Grenada. I'm not going to that extreme. I just use little petty things, little things to show. So history is important. If you don't know your history, you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're coming. Going back to the Carnival, as I said, I just wrong thing. Now, America are the most Carnival in the world. Why? Migration. Caribbean people take Carnival to America. They brought the culture with them. And the American, whether we talk about racism, we talk about Jim Crow law, we talk about segregation, but they give you are allowed to participate in your carnival in America. Miami has a 2 carnival. New York have, New Jersey have, Boston. So much place like carnival in America. Now, Juveron perhaps will put more money in soccer at his pocket. Yeah. Because you're opening up doors, you're opening up borders. And perhaps most soccer songs will not make Billboard chart. So, as a Caribbean people, I don't understand us. Whether it's politics, we're making boo. Sports, we're making boo. Everything we're doing is confusion. Now, West Indies playing cricket in Grenada. Now, if Grenada didn't have a stadium, whether stadium bringing money or not, do you think we are able to host West Indies cricket? No. Whether it's luck, we're lucky. But it came to Grenada because Grenada didn't have a lot of COVID. We didn't have the COVID. So there was a health facility for them. Health security. No COVID. And we had the infrastructure, the stadium, the building where they could play the games. Did the stadium come from the sky and fall there? Whether it is a good project or a bad project. I don't want to get into politics. I don't politics every time. And Mr. Man, when I have to politics, I don't care if it's the government or or if it's the PRG before or who are politics. Because at my age in life, I don't support no political party. I'm too old for that now. Because politics is all about power. And politicians don't have friends. And they have part-time enemy. You understand? A politician only love the immediate family and close associate from them. And when time to come for a political change for them to stay in power, a guy, somebody that was the enemy yesterday could be the friend today. Especially in Grenada politics. The way it is now. I know belongs to no political party. And perhaps one day if I'm in Grenada, I'll vote when our election coming, I'll watch and see which one perhaps may be better and perhaps I might give a vote. But for saying I belong to a political party, no way. You will never see that. So, Creole, we got to keep it. History. If we didn't have Creole, we didn't have no culture in Grenada. Do you know how much money our traditional culture is bringing to Grenada? Who kept it? Who kept that culture in Grenada? Is it people who speak in what the grammar fools call in broken English? These are the people who keep the culture. Because what we call in broken English, or I call it Creole English, this is the language with the most culture. This is where music comes from. And it's not only in Grenada, you know. All throughout the Caribbean and in the United States. What we call in the broken, not the proper language or the patois one or how you call it, this is where the music comes from. What do you want me to dance, Mr. Grammar Fools? You want me to be dancing classical and opera? I have this high African spirituality in me. How come a black man like listen to my voice? One day I was crossing the border once in the United States. And I opened my loud voice. And a woman came up to me and she said to me, if you're not from Nigeria or somewhere around there, you're from the Congo. I said, why you tell me that? She said, your voice. She said, you have this deep West African voice. Cameroon, Nigeria, Congo, Ghana, that's what she asked me. I said, I'm from Grenada, Caribbean, you know. And me and the lady had a nice chat. So how are we going to separate those things from us? These are things we have to look at, you know. What we have to do in Grenada is to preserve what we have and then make English a language for commerce. Then coming already on harassing people and hosting program interfering in the soul of the nation because you don't know history or you want to kill history. This is what we call cultural genocide. Cultural genocide. You're taking away the soul of the nation after 16 what? 1630 or 1625 or when the Frenchman come and colonize this little piece of island or 1632 or somewhere around there. I think it's 1632 or 1620 something. And one of few of you want to just come and destroy that? Are you crazy? You know how much free bus rider get in Canada for speaking Grenadian? When the bus driver hear my voice, he say, "But what part in Grenada are you from, boy?" They say, "Go and sit down." One night I come out karaoke, come up Young Street. It was me and some other people, and I speaking, I have this big heavy voice. I see a black lady watching me. I get up on Kill Street and Finch. The woman grabbed my pants foot. She said, "What part in Grenada are you from?" At first I thought the woman was African. I said, "I'm from St. Patrick's. St. Patrick, Hermitage." She said, "I make all the accent." She tell me she from Cherry Hill. And she was smiling. You know, these are things. We got to cherish those things. You know, this is what makes us. So without the history, we're going to be lost. If you look at us in this part of the world, we always searching. And the reason why we're searching is because we don't know history. If you know your history, you are searching them. And the ABC of your history is you were brought to that place. You look in the mirror, you watch yourself. Whatever you look like, you were brought to that place. It's a melange, it's a melting pot. Anyway, this is me. This is all I have to say this weekend. I gone till I come again.